Halle, halle, hallelujah. Halle, halle, hallelujah. Halle, halle, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Many of us here are probably happiest when we are busy. Keeping busy is so important because it helps take away or keep away what modern Americans, and especially younger ones, seem to dread most: boredom. For many people, there's probably nothing that can be said about anyone or anything that is worse than that he or she or it is boring. His texts are boring. Her tweets are boring. The class is boring. The game is boring. School is boring. Summer is boring. Church is boring. But never homilies are boring, no. Nobody says that. Life is boring. For others who are older, keeping busy often helps alleviate feelings of loneliness or separation or uselessness that come so easily when one has outlived family members and friends or is no longer working. Keeping busy helps to pass time and to distract. However, just keeping busy for the sake of being busy can have harmful effects as well. We refer to people who are too concerned with the lives and circumstances of others as busybodies. Students and employees complain about unnecessary assignments as busy work. And we all know we can hurt others or ourselves feel hurt when we need help or advice and we go to someone and we ask them for help and they say, "Not now, I'm busy." Or, "Go away, can't you see I'm busy?" Then there's that age-old trick question. Are you busy? If you answer yes, the person feels they are interrupting you and cannot take your time. If you answer no, then the questioner starts to think, well, maybe they're pretty lazy. Why aren't you busy? Today's gospel seems to indicate that Jesus is scolding Martha for being busy, for not sitting and listening to him. Rather, I think Jesus is concerned about Martha because she is so anxious and worried, so wrapped up or caught up in the details of hospitality, of welcoming Jesus to her house. The matters of hospitality are important, of course, but what about the guest they are intended for? Has Martha's busyness overwhelmed her? Sometimes we can be like Martha, even when it comes to our faith. We get so caught up in the details of religion, this practice or that devotion or that rule or that ritual or rubric, that we forget completely about the heart of the whole matter, the focus of our faith, the person of Jesus. So the challenge for us is to keep sufficiently busy in our lives and in our faith so that we don't slack off and squander the time and energy God has gifted us with. But we do not want to become anxious or upset or rude or obnoxious in our dealings with others, comparing how busy others are to our own busyness. So how do we do that? By including a healthy dose of prayer time in our daily lives so that we can blend the activity and accomplishments of being Martha-like with the holy leisure time of being Mary-like. Every day should include some moments at the feet of Jesus, listening as good disciples do, and contemplating the presence of the Lord in our lives. This is a way to charge our spiritual batteries, along with our physical and emotional batteries on a daily basis. The first reading in the gospel today stressed the wonderful human virtue of hospitality, welcoming others. And that's so important. It is important to care for the person as well as for the details of hospitality. the physical needs of the person. Jesus was not telling Martha that her work and preparation were not appreciated. He was reminding us that we must first listen to and appreciate the guest, and then the busyness of hospitality will fall into perspective. If we really listen to Jesus, if we really pay attention to others, we will not find them boring. If we are first attentive to our guests, we will not be anxious and worried about the details of hospitality. Notice that in the Gospel, Mary says nothing. She listens. That is a huge part of our prayer lives too. But isn't it often true that it is God we expect to do the listening? God is the one we want to be attentive to us. God is the one we want to listen to what we say. So we dominate the conversation. We give God a list of our problems and a list of solutions we want God to provide. Like Martha did, really. Lord, I am doing all the work. Won't you tell Mary to help me? It takes faith to believe that what God has to say is infinitely more important than anything we might have to say. God knows what is best for us, knows what we need to hear, knows how to steer us in the right direction. Simply listening and let God start the conversation is the better part that Mary chose. Jesus wanted Martha to understand that, to share in it, and to never forget it. So that time sitting at the feet of Jesus is not, however, the end of the story. It is the launching pad to a life of love and mercy, generosity and forgiveness, the life of action Martha was doing her best to embrace. It starts with an open heart and open ears. Then and only then, it won't matter where we are or who we are with. It will never be boring.